Hi, Lara from Forex Info USA with your free daily analysis of the US dollar index from an Elliott wave perspective for the New York trading session dated the 22nd of March. I'm going to start this analysis as always with a look at the bigger picture with a chart going back to 1985. Let's have a look at some cycle degree waves. We had 5 waves down followed by 3 waves up, 3 waves down, and now we're working on 5 waves up. So this was the end of cycle degree wave 5, and that's followed by a correction. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, followed by ABC. This A wave was a 3-wave structure, which means it's a flat correction. B is always a 3-wave structure. In this case, it ends below the start of A. So this is an expanded flat correction that calls for a long, strong 5 waves for wave C that should end comfortably beyond the end of A. Cycle degree waves take about 7 or 8 years or so to complete, so that means in about 5 or 7 years, because we've already had a couple of years of this so far, in about 5 to 7 years the dollar should be about 122 or comfortably higher. Within this 5 waves up for C, we've already had 1, 2, and we're working on the first part of this 3rd wave up. I have a target on the upside for this 3rd wave about 104.58. Because wave 1 maroon or primary degree was 18.79 long, it's a very likely length for wave 3 to be 1.618, that length, and that takes the dollar up to about 104.58. We should see that by about the end of this year or so. Taking you now to a daily chart, just looking at the recent upward movement. And we had blue or minor 1 just off the chart to the left here, 2, 3, 4 now complete, and we're working on the early stages of blue wave 5. Wave 4 was a combination correction, a flat A, B, C for W, joined by a nice strong 3-wave move for X, followed by a zigzag A, B, C for Y to end wave 4 blue. I use this parallel trend channeling technique. This is Elliott's channeling technique, and it works very well. I've drawn this one by a trend line from this low to this low, created a parallel copy, and I've chosen to be really conservative and put it on the highest or the most outer point within wave 4 blue. We've had a really comfortable breach on the upside of this parallel trend channel, giving me some pretty good confidence that wave 4 blue is over and wave 5 blue, our next series of upwards movements for the dollar, has begun. If wave 5 indeed did start here, our target for the upside for in about 2 or 3 weeks' time is about 84.22. That's where this wave 5 blue will reach equality with wave 1 blue. And seeing as wave 3 was the longest, that's a fairly reasonable upwards target in the first instance for the dollar. This wave count we now can say would be invalidated with any movement below 79.51, the start of wave 5 blue. While wave 5 is in progress on its way up, we do not expect the dollar to reach down to 79.51 or below. Taking you now to an hourly chart, where we're going to have a look at this recent structure. And here's this most recent upwards movement. This is also showing a lot of detail for this recent sideways movement for wave 4 blue, but let's just have a look at this upwards movement. I've changed the degree of wave labeling slightly. I've moved it up 1 degree. It fits better with the overall target of 84.22. So I've changed this now slightly to be 1, 2, and then an extended 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to end 3 green. 4 green may very well have ended here. It could get a little bit lower. It will not, however, go down to 80.06, the upper end of wave 1 green. Price cannot go into that level or below, or this wave count, this interpretation, would be invalid. The ratios within these waves are reasonably adequate. Within the orange waves, comparing 1 and 3 and 5, wave 1 is just 0.07 greater than 1.618, the length of 5. Wave 3 is almost exactly twice the length of wave 5. So they have reasonable Elliott wave ratios between them. Comparing wave 1 green with wave 3 green, wave 3 is fairly close to being twice the length of wave 1. Or a little bit more. Those ratios between this wave 3 green and wave 1 green, not really that good for the dollar. However, it's not always perfect. That's fine. So I expect that our downwards movement, if it's not already over, should be over soon. Can't go down that much further. Thereafter, further strong upwards movement from the dollar to reach up to that target I've given you. And validation point on the hourly chart, slightly different from the daily because it's on a slightly more detailed wave count. That's okay. And noticing also the difference in the wave behaviour of this recent upwards movement. As I said yesterday, this is exactly what we expect to see when we're in an impulsive wave structure. This very strong, clear upwards movement with few overlaps is exactly what you expect to see from impulsive wave movement. So we should be seeing some really strong upwards movement with the dollar for the next couple of weeks. Overall, the trend is very clear. The trend remains up. That's all from me with your US dollar index Elliott wave analysis. If you would like Elliott wave analysis to help you in your forex trading of the euro dollar and or the pound dollar, you'll find it on my site. As always, have an awesome day and I hope all your trades are profitable.